Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego, and I got the camera close to me. This is your K1 Visa channel, your green card channel. It's July 25th, 2024 at 8:47 a.m. in the morning Central Time, and this is a surprise live stream. Like I promised yesterday, I said I would jump on the live stream and help you guys with your K1 visas. And I got to get this camera set up so I can see your questions. If you come on. I know it's kind of early in the morning. You're probably getting ready for work. You're at work, but there are some countries around the world where this is a good time slot where I can jump on and give you information about K1 visas and green cards for free. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I don't give you any legal advice. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for any of those companies that charge you all that money to process your green card or your K1 visa, spousal visa, etc. But the paperwork is very easy. You don't need an attorney. You don't need to spend $3,000 or $4,000 to fill out a K1 visa package. Okay, you don't need to do that. Got a question from somebody. They said, they're getting ready to process their green card paperwork, but they want to put their beneficiary on the water bill, the light bill, the electric bill, the internet bill, the trash bill, everything. And they asked, can I use can my beneficiary use my new last name from her husband? Well, yeah, you can. Because when you apply for the green card on page 1 of form 485, page 1, the first question is, what is your current legal name? And you put your name, Susie, and then your husband's last name. Then the second question they ask you is, have you ever used any other names? Well, yeah, this is where you put your maiden name. Okay, you put your maiden name as a second question. And then when you apply for the green card, your green card is going to come in with your married name on it. Karina got her green card with my last name on it. So she's Karina Ross. It's that easy. Don't overthink this, okay? Try not to stress it. Beneficiaries, you can change your last name to your husband's last name. You do it on page 1 of form 485 when you apply for your green card. Vishal Goyal, what's going on, Vishal? Hey, Diego, I was wondering if there's going to be an interview for the green card. It depends. If you put together a very strong green card application, okay, then you probably won't have to go in front of a scary visa interview anymore. You'll be done. Let me see if I get this light working on you guys. I don't know if you can see me. There, maybe that's a little better. But you only go in front of a visa officer, consular officer, when you apply for your green card if you put together a pitiful green card application. If you include just the marriage certificate, you don't put any wedding photos in there, you just basically fill out the 485 and the 864, and you get a repeat medical exam. If you just put together a very weak green card package with no evidence of you guys living together, cohabitating together, all you show is that you married each other. If immigration can see your marriage certificate, that's great, but it's not sufficient to get a green card. In order to get a green card, you got to show you guys are cohabitating. Your beneficiary, she or he, is on the title to your car or to your RV or to your motorcycle, the deed to your house or your apartment. He or she's on the apartment lease. You got to show proof of all this, okay? Put your beneficiary on all the utility bills. If you do that, and have 20 or 30 pictures of your wedding with a bunch of people to get in the pictures, okay? Pictures going back when you first started dating all the way up. Take a picture with a bunch of friends the day before you mail your green card application off to immigration. Corinne and I, we did that. She mailed off her green card application February 29th, 2024, and on February 28th, we had pictures up in a town in northern Florida with people. Day before we mailed it. So if you want to avoid a green card visa interview, make sure your beneficiary is on the bank account, joint ownership, the title to the car, the apartment, the utility bills. You got lots of pictures, receipts from dinner dates, a receipt for where you paid for your wedding, a receipt showing where you paid for your wedding rings, stuff like that. If you put together a strong green card package, and don't forget, you got to include the I-94, the biographic page of your passports, sponsor and beneficiary and K2s. You got to make a blow-up copy in color of the K1 visa and the K2 visa, etc. Tasha Lynn's World. Good morning, Mr. Ross. I'm Diego. Mr. Ross is my dad, and he's in Thailand. Do you think I will get my green card before August? Filing date March 8th. So let's see. April, May, June, July, August. It's possible. It's a good possibility. Tasha Lynn's World. There's a good possibility you'll get it sometime in August. I don't see why not. You did a good job, right, putting your green card package together. Renika Kendall, hey Diego, so if you got a Florida state ID before getting married, do you go back with your marriage certificate to have it changed? Well, yeah, you want to get it changed to your married name, right? I may have missed it, but is this Karina at work this morning? Karina is working. Karina, I took her to work early this morning. I got up when the cats were prowling around the yard looking for mice or whatever they do. Whatever they do at 5 o'clock in the morning, but Karina's at work, so I'm doing the live stream by myself. I promised yesterday I would do a live stream on Friday, so here I am. And Karina is on the channel probably 95% of the time, but today she's working. And then when she gets off of work, I'll pick her up, and then tomorrow we do a live stream together. And yeah, Karina's working. She likes what she's doing. How is Karina progressing with her driving? Well, she has her driver's test and her driver's exam for signs, road signs, on September 3rd. So September 3rd, she has her driver's test. So she's doing good. And I've got no doubt in my mind she will pass her driver's test the first time around. Okay? She's going to be fine. And then I will sit with her for about 2 or 3 months. Once she passes her driver's test, I will sit and drive with her as a passenger for 3 or 4 months until she's confident and she's comfortable driving in the United States on these crazy highways. And then I will take her up on the interstate. I'll put her in, we'll drive up onto the interstate, and she will drive on Interstate 10. And we'll do that a couple of times. And then when she feels comfortable that she's good to drive by herself and she knows everything that she's supposed to know, then she'll be good to go. Well, she is good to go already, but I'm just going to sit with her as a courtesy to help her. So when you come to the United States, talking about driver's licenses, you got to have a green card and a social security number to get a driver's license in most states anyway. I don't recommend that you drive a car in the United States of America on a foreign driver's license. Now you can drive on a British driver's license, for, I think it's like 60 days or 90 days or something like that. But I don't recommend it. If you're in the middle of a green card application and you're driving on a foreign driver's license and you get into an accident, that's going to put your green card in jeopardy. So just don't get your driver's license for the United States until you get your green card, and don't drive on your international or foreign driver's license so you avoid an accident, avoid any trouble, avoid any problems with immigration. Cozy Moth, good morning, Diego. I don't know much about the adjustment of status stage yet since we're focused on getting him past the interview. You get the visa through the interview. I have a question regarding this. I've heard we're supposed to prove our marriage in ways such as bank statements and bills. You got to be joint owners on bank statements and bills. Will it be an issue that we don't have any bills since I'm a student and don't have any bills or income? You can get joint bank accounts. Cozy Moth, you have a bank account, right? Don't you have a bank account? Right? When you get married, you get your husband, wife, it applies to both, right? You get the person's social security number, and then you put them on your bank account and become joint owners. And then you wait for about 2 months before you file for your green card, and you get your green card. You're going to get your beneficiary on your bank statements as a joint owner. It's going to show up on the bank statements. So you don't apply for the green card right away. Once you get married, you wait 50, 60 days. Once you get married, give yourself 50 or 60 days to put together the green card application. Don't just file a green card package with just the marriage certificate and the paperwork for immigration, because you're not going to get a green card. You can get him on your bank statements. Okay. Let me see here. You said you don't have any bills since you're a student. Well, I'm sure you got bills. And I'm sure you can put your beneficiary on your bills as a joint owner of the bills. I'm sure you got some. Nobody doesn't have any bills. I mean, unless you're, a multimillionaire living in, I don't know, Belize. But you cannot submit your green card application with the bare bones documentation. Okay. When I filed with Karina, when she filed her green card paperwork, she paid for it on her credit card. How did she get her credit card? She got her social security number. She became a joint owner of the bank, okay, of our bank account. She got a credit card and a debit card. Her name was on the credit card. Her name is on the debit card. My name is on my credit card and my debit card. And we took a picture on a white piece of paper like this. Here's a piece of paper. We put the credit cards and the debit cards on the piece of paper. I took a picture of it, and it showed joint bank ownership and joint credit cards. That was included in the green card application. There's so much you can do to prove that you guys live together. There's a lot you can do. It takes 50 to 60 days to put together a fantastic green card application. Okay. Francois, good morning, Diego. Say hello to Karina later. She get off of work later on tonight. It's 4 o'clock. She gets home. I'll go pick her up at 4 o'clock. Central Time, US. Cozy Moth, my grandmother pays for things such as my phone bill. When he is added to the phone bill, is that good proof? And is it okay that my grandmother will be paying? Immigration don't care who's paying for the bills. They just want to see your name on the bills. You and your beneficiary. Okay? Your husband, your new husband. You both have to be on the bills, the phone bill. Okay? And then you make copies of the bills when they come in with the names on it, joint owners of the phone bill. Grandma pays the bill. That's fine. Hey, no big deal. That's great for you. But you got to prove that you guys are cohabitating together. Okay, thank you. I just didn't know if it was an issue since I wouldn't be paying. No, it's not an issue. Immigration couldn't care less who pays the light bill or the water bill or the gas bill. They just care that you guys are joint responsible for the services. Okay? Karina's, when the trash bill comes in through the internet, I get an email from the trash company, and Karina's name and my name are on the trash bill. I print the bill, okay, and I don't delete anything. I mean, who cares if immigration knows what our account number is with the trash company? But what they're looking for is Karina's name and my name on the trash bill. So it comes in, and the date with the month. So when the bill comes in, I print it, and I highlight Karina's name with a yellow marker. I highlight my name, and then I highlight the date. That's how, and you continue that process because you're going to need proof of living together for the 10-year green card. So it doesn't stop. Once you file for the green card, you got to keep collecting the evidence of you guys living together for the 10-year green card. Cozy Moth. Also, we were able to reschedule an early interview appointment instead of an August 27th. It's now August 15th. Well, that's a Mountain Dew salute right there. That a brand new Mountain Dew, thanks to Francois. She got us the Mountain Dew yesterday. Mountain Dew salute to Cozy Moth. You got an earlier date for your K1 visa appointment, which is good news. We're glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Get it done and over with, right? And then you got to remember when you come to the United States, when he comes to America, you got to get a copy of the I-94 for the green card application, the I-94. You got to make a copy of your passport, biographic page in color, nice and big. And also your beneficiary's passport from whichever country he's coming from. You get a picture. You got to get a blow-up picture of the K1 visa. Okay? The marriage certificate. A copy of the Social Security card if you have it, if you get it. Before you can apply for your Social Security number 2 ways. You can either apply at the Social Security Administration office with your I-94 your marriage certificate and passport. Or if you live in a state where you have to have a social security number before you can get a marriage certificate, just bring your I-94 and your passport with the K1. Okay? Your goal to avoid a visa interview with a consular officer on a green card application, your goal is to put together a strong green card application. Okay? Go out on some dinner dates. Get pictures with friends. Get pictures with friends and family in the United States of America. You want to put at least 30 or 40 pictures in the green card application. Cozy Moth, am I going to need my passport renewed or for proof during the interview? Or do I just need proof I'm a U.S. citizen, like my birth certificate and ID? I don't have an updated passport at the moment. Okay, Cozy Moth, you got to update your passport. That's your homework assignment. But you don't have, but all you got to do for the green card application and for the K1 visa interview is to prove you are a U.S. citizen. You can do that with your birth certificate. You can do that. You can't do it with an ID. You got to do it with either your passport or your birth certificate or naturalization certificate if you're naturalized, or citizenship of birth overseas if you were born overseas and you are considered a U.S. citizen by virtue of your parents being U.S. citizens. Like there's a lot of folks whose parents are in the military and they get stationed overseas, like in Italy or Spain or somewhere, and they have a baby overseas. The baby's born in Italy, but that baby's a U.S. citizen because the parents are U.S. citizens who is one of which is in the military or working for a company, etc. So Cozy Moth, you need to renew your passport. You need to renew it. Get it done. That's your homework assignment. Okay? And then you're probably going to have it in time for the green card application. But you can show proof of U.S. citizenship with your birth certificate also. But I strongly recommend you get a passport. The K1 visa process is the same thing. When you apply for your K1 visa, you want to prove your relationship. You got to prove you guys are together in a relationship, right? The K1 visa is proving the relationship. The green card application is proving your relationship after you get married. So before you apply for your K1 visa, you got to make sure you're qualified for the benefit. Do you make enough money? If you don't, it's okay. Get a joint sponsor. Have you met each other face to face within 2 years before you file for the green card for the K1 visa? Have you been in each other's company? Okay, I spent 2.5 years in Colombia, pretty much. My friend Michael took care of the house for me. Bless his heart. To qualify for the K1 visa, you gotta be free and legally able to marry each other. So if you are currently married to somebody, but you're in a divorce proceeding, you cannot file for the K1 visa until you have the certified divorce decree. Okay? There's some people that apply for their K1 visa and they're not divorced yet, but they got the paperwork it's going through the process. Their K1 visa gets denied because they couldn't prove that they were legally free and able to marry each other. Well, they said, well, I've got my divorce. I'm scheduled with the judge in 3 months. So I filed my K1 visa 3 months before my face-to-face with the judge, but you're not divorced. Well, I will be by the time you get to look at my K1 visa. No, they look at the date you filed the K1 visa and the date that you get divorced. And if they don't match up, your K1 visa gets denied. So you got to be legally free and able to marry each other before you file your K1 visa. Before. If you've been divorced twice, 3 times, okay, no big deal. You got to include the 2 certified copies of the divorce decrees in your K1 visa application. You got to do it. Or an annulment. If you're like in the Philippines, like the folks from the Philippines, you can't get a divorce in the Philippines pretty much. So you have to get an annulment. If your husband or wife passed away, you got a copy of the death certificate. Then you're going to write 2 letters of intent to get married. The sponsor is going to write a letter of intent to get married, and so is the beneficiary. Karina can't speak English or write in English, so she wrote her letter of intent to get married in Spanish, and then we translated it into English, and that went into the K1 visa application. Okay? If your beneficiary, let's suppose your beneficiary is from the Philippines. I would say 90% of all people in the Philippines can speak English perfectly well. And Tagalog and other dialects. Like in Cebu, they got a different dialect, right? You can write your letter of intent to get married in English if you can speak and read and write English. If you are from Colombia and you can speak English fluently, and you can read and write English, you can write your letter of intent to get married in English. Cosimoth, thank you. You're good, Cosimoth. And Francois Livingston, I can't thank you enough, Diego, for always being there, for your guidance. We're here for you guys. Mountain Dew salute, Francois. We are here. Karina's with you also, but she's at work right now. When you get starting to work, when you become to the United States, let's suppose you come to the United States. I don't know. Let's suppose you come here from Iraq, beautiful Iraq. You get your work permit and then your green card, and you start working in America. You become part of the system. You start paying FICA tax. You start paying Medicare tax. That's very important. Okay. Social Security. When you want to retire one day, right? You come to America from Iraq. You get married, or Syria, or UAE, or Saudi Arabia, or Australia, or England, or Colombia. You want to get to work and start paying into the system. When you start paying into the system and you start paying taxes to the federal government once a year, and or your state, if you live in a state like that, you are building a foundation for your retirement, right? You can join the military too if you want. If you want to, if you're not over age 39, I believe it is, you can join the military. What a career that would be. Cheyenne Barek, hi Diego. We have 48 years age gap. Okay, my interview is in 3 weeks. I'm 30. My fiance is 78. I have lots of evidence. How much evidence to show interview tips? Love from India. Well, congratulations on your K1 visa interview coming up in 3 weeks. Congratulations, and we send our best wishes and love to everybody in India and to your family, Cheyenne. Immigration don't care if there's a big age gap. Immigration cares that there's a real relationship. Okay? You got to prove it. You got to prove it. How long have you guys been dating each other? Did you have an engagement party? Did your sponsor buy you an engagement ring? If he did, don't wear it to the visa interview. Do not wear your engagement rings to your visa interviews. The K1 visa, the consular officer might think you got married and deny your visa. It happens in Ghana, it happened in Indonesia, it happened in Singapore. It could happen anywhere. So 4.5 years, you've been dating, being together for 4.5 years. If you've got evidence of a 4.5 year relationship, you're good to go. I just hope this light, I don't know if you guys can see me. Is the light good? I don't know. Maybe it's the hat. 4.5 years together. Very good. So you're good to go. Just wait for the visa interview and then come to America, get married, and put your green card package together. Let me see here. Normally, Karina's running the questions for me because she's the computer expert. So 48 years apart, that's okay. Just as long as you can prove a long relationship. My friend is a doctor, and he married a lady from Medellin, Colombia. She was 25 and he was 65. They're still married and doing good. They got 2 kids. Cozy Moth. Yes, I can't thank you and Karina enough either. We'll help you. I was so lost before all of your detailed advice. Well, we're going to make you get unconfused, right? So you can get through this. It's not difficult, but if you don't know what you're doing, I got an advantage. I've got 9 years of experience doing this, okay? I got 9 years. And I can, with my 9 years of experience, I've helped hundreds of people get their green cards and get their K1 visas. I've helped people overcome denials when their immigration attorney said, hang it up, you're done. And I've helped them get over that, okay? Francois, Diego, my employer wants an exact date for time off. Well, I don't know that at the moment because my fiance hasn't had his interview yet to plan from that point. I am being given a hard time. Okay, Francois. Well, you give your K1 visa interview is for Hamid is on September 18th, right, in the United Arab Emirates. September 18th. Then when is he going to fly to Morocco? Francois, when is he flying to Morocco? September 19th to 20th. When he gets to Morocco, how long is he going to stay in Morocco? A week, 2 weeks? But you can't buy any plane tickets until you get the K1 visa in his passport. So right now, you need to tell your boss that you're waiting for the immigration to approve his K1 visa, and then you will have the dates. Okay? And I'll guide you through it. Okay? So if they're giving you a hard time, just back away from putting in your leave paperwork, your vacation paperwork. Just back off of it for right now. Cheyenne Barak, please bless me, Diego. Definitely. We're going to put pixie dust blessings right here, all over Cheyenne. If you don't mind what age you both are, I'm inspired by you. Thanks, Diego. I am 22 years older than Karina. Okay? But like I said, age is irrelevant with immigration. My friend is a doctor. He's a general practitioner. 62 years old. He married a 25-year-old. She was from Colombia, Medellin. And they went through the embassy interview, the scary visa interview in Bogota, Colombia. Like, let me see, it's got to be 12 years ago. They've been married like 12 years. They got 2 kids. Okay, he's 62 when he got married, so he's 72. He's 74 now, and she's 25, 35, and she's 37. And they're doing great. They've been married for 12 years. Estelle Lemagoum, hey, how long does it take from approval to case ready? Thanks again for all your help. Bless up. Let's see here. How long does it take from approval? So your visa's been approved, so that's NOA2 letter, to case ready. For the embassy, we'll send you a ready status. It depends on how busy the embassy is. In the summer, they go a little bit slower because it's summertime, okay? Summertime, things go a bit slower at embassies because they're processing hundreds of tourist visas and K1s and spousal visas and student visas, especially tourist visas. So they get busy. People don't go on vacation in wintertime. November, December, January, February, March, although probably for December for Christmas, but people don't. You got approved yesterday. Okay. So you got your visa approved yesterday at the embassy, right? You went to the visa interview. You got approved at the visa interview, correct, Estelle? So remind me what country, and I'll give you a time frame, okay? I need to know what your time frame is. James McLean, my K1 visa packet was 175 pages for a 2-year relationship. That's it, my man, right there. We submitted so much proof of our relationship. James McLean, that's a Mountain Dew salute. That's how you do it. You overwhelm immigration with so much evidence of you guys being together. I mean, I got Karina and I was a member of BJ's Warehouse Club. And I put Karina on the back of my account, and she got a little BJ's card. So we're joint account holders with a wholesale club, a warehouse club. That went in the green card application. It couldn't go in the K1 visa package because she wasn't in America to become a joint owner. But when she comes to the United States, boom, she's a joint owner with me and also Sam's Club. Get library cards. Get library cards. Cheyenne, you are inspired by us. We want to inspire you. Probable questions for an interview for a big age gap. Okay. How long have you been knowing each other? How long have you been dating? How long have you been in a relationship? 4.5 years. How did your relationship develop? How did it develop? How many trips has your sponsor made to come see you in beautiful India? How many trips? How many times has he come to India to see you? Right, 4.5 years. But how many times did he come visit you? How much time did he spend with you? How many pictures? 10 trips. You got me beat. I made 5 trips to Colombia. 10 trips in 4.5 years. Lots of pictures together. Lots of evidence of did he buy you any Christmas presents or birthday presents? Did you keep the receipts from all the gifts he bought you? That goes in. That's very important information. Cameroon's processing K1 visas. They're doing pretty good. So you got so Estelle, you got your NOA 2 letter, right? Is that what you're telling me? So it's going to take 3 to 4 months from the NOA 2 letter. James McLean, Estelle, what was your NOA 1 day? The NOA 1 day is pretty much irrelevant. You file for the K1 visa and you get the NOA 1 letter usually in a week to 10 days, assuming you didn't make any mistakes. You didn't forget to sign the I-129F. The biggest mistake people make in filing for their K1 visa is they forget to sign form I-129F. They forget to sign it, or they fill out the check incorrectly, okay? Or they put the wrong amount. Those are big mistakes that people make, and they're stupid mistakes. Francois, I was away, so I totally missed your comment. Francois, repeat the question. But you're good. You're good, okay, Francois. If you cannot get the vaccinations in UAE, don't worry about it. Start the process in Morocco. Finish it up in the United States. Cheyenne Barak, I am nervous for an interview. Why? It's no big deal. How many pages for photos? I would say bring 20 or 30 pictures. I can show. Right now I have 40 pages. Bring those 40 pages to the visa interview. But make sure they're not just pictures of you and him. You got to have pictures of you and him and family and friends. You got to have group pictures with people. 90% of all the pictures that we submitted to the K1 visa package for Karina back in April of 2023 and for the green card application were with family and friends. Okay? You got to have pictures of family and friends. And don't be nervous. Francois, I'm given a hard time right now because I don't have a definite time to request time off. So back away. Don't ask your boss for time off right now. Okay? Don't wait. Here's what I would do. Can you tell your boss you're waiting for the K1 visa to get approved? And then you will know the dates for the vacation? Can you do that? Is he going to work with you on that? I mean, thank you. Got to go catch the live chat Saturday. See you later, Francois. Get to work. Let's see here. So Cheyenne, you met your sponsor with 10 trips with 10 different countries, 10 countries. Let me see. Francois, go get to work, Francois. Estelle, James, NOA 1 was March 13th, followed by notice of intent to deny and an RFE and an NOA 2. And if I remember, Estelle, I think we fixed that for you. Cozy Moth, I only have one picture with my fiance, mom, and me. All the others are just pictures of us. Is that going to be an issue at the interview? Why do you only have one picture with your fiance and mom? It will be probably an issue for the green card. Probably not so much for the visa interview, but you got to have at least 30 pictures with family and friends. When he gets to America, you need to round up all your friends and all your family and all your neighbors and get pictures with all these different people for the green card application. Okay? Immigration don't want to see just pictures of you and your beneficiary. Or they don't want to see that. They want to see joint interaction with family and friends. That's what they're looking for. See ya, Francois. Get to work. Cheyenne, my fiance is hearing you from California. Very good. Well, it's what? 9, 8, what is it? 6 o'clock in the morning in California? Cozy Moth, we have a very strong proof of our relationship, including gifts from the years, receipts, and all sorts of stuff. Okay. Well, make sure that all that gets included. But when you get to the United States and get married, you got to get lots and lots and lots of pictures with family and friends. Listen to me, Cozy Moth. You gotta show joint interaction. Okay. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:22 in California. Okay, I was off an hour. That's right. I'm not in Eastern time. I'm in Central time. Cheyenne, by Rake, we traveled together in 10 countries. Well, tell us what countries you went to visit. I'm really interested to hear that. Okay. Now let me think. I'm trying to think. What countries have I visited? I've been to South Africa, Malta, England, Belgium, Holland, France, Sicily, Sardinia, Egypt. Let me see. Belize, Nicaragua, Guatemala. I think Nicaragua. Was it Honduras? No, Honduras. I've never been to Nicaragua. It was Honduras. I've been to a lot of countries. So I'm all in. If you want to share with everybody what countries you visited, and did you get lots of pictures together in those countries, and did you get lots of souvenirs from those countries? I like collecting plates for the wall. You put a plate on the wall. When I got a plate from Egypt. I got a plate from. Let me see. I've been to Ibiza, Spain. I've been to Spain 3 or 4 times. Cartagena, Spain. Rota, Spain. I go to a different country. I was in Colombia for 2.5 years. I bought a plate and put it on the wall. So that's my memory of Colombia. Besides Karina, but Karina's from Venezuela, and I can't travel to Venezuela. I can't go to Venezuela right now. But Venezuela has an election on Sunday. So maybe we'll get rid of that communist dictator and we'll get a new government where Venezuela will be free again. So Cheyenne, you went to Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam, Tanzania. That's interesting. Hong Kong, Macau, Indonesia, Amsterdam. You went to Amsterdam. That's in the Netherlands, right? In Holland. I've been to Amsterdam, but I have not been to any of those countries that you mentioned. I would love to go to Thailand, but it's just too far for me to fly. I can't travel 24 hours on an airplane. I can't do that. I could if I slept the whole way probably, but then I'd miss my connecting flight, right? So you've been to a lot of places, Cheyenne, with your sponsor. So make sure you include pictures from all those places. Yeah, my dad lives in Thailand. My dad lives in Chiang Mai, okay? And he likes living there. He's been living in Thailand for 25 years, something like that. The only downside is he has to check in with immigration once a month. When you come to the United States get your green card, you only have to check in with immigration after 2 years. Living in Thailand, he had to check in with immigration. He has to check in every month. When I lived in Colombia, I was given a 12-month visa to live in Colombia. I didn't have to check in with immigration except when I left. So, some countries have different rules. But I know in Thailand, they have lots of elephants too. And the food is fantastic. My fiance, Cheyenne, is coming to India very soon. Make sure he keeps the boarding passes and the receipts to meet your family. When he meets your family, get lots and lots of pictures with your family. Photos with everybody. And on the pictures, when you print the pictures, you write the names of the people in the photo, the date the picture was taken, and where the picture was taken. Okay? Very important that you identify when, where, and who. And then when you file for the green card, you want to have at least 40 pictures of your 50 pictures for the green card application. Pictures of your wedding in the United States. Pictures of this trip coming up to India. Pictures when you travel to all those countries. Write a letter and explain that you traveled to 10 countries with your sponsor on vacation. Write an affidavit and explain what you did, where you went. Camille Marayati. Diego, my fiance, had her scary visa interview and she was approved. Mountain Dew salute. Camille. What are the steps once she arrives here and we get married to change her status for green card? Hold on, let me give you a Mountain Dew salute. So you're going to accompany your beneficiary to the United States, right? Come out. You're going to go through the U.S. citizenship line. You're going to go in front of the Border Patrol. The Border Patrol is going to issue an I-94. Give it a couple of days. You're going to go into the Border Patrol website, the I-94 official website. You're going to print your I-94, okay? And you're going to apply for your green card. And I've made videos on how to apply for a green card. It's called adjustment of status. I've made 3 videos. If you want, I'll make a new video about it. If you want me to do that. Congratulations, come out. And remind everybody of what country. Cheyenne, Diego, I want to talk to you in person. Is it possible? I'll talk to you right here. I've got 300,000 people over the years that's watched the channel. I wouldn't be able to talk to everybody in person. So I do the live stream so I can get a whole bunch of people at one time. Morocco, okay. Fantastic. So your K1 visa interview was in Casablanca. Congratulations. Now you're going to work on getting the green card. Cheyenne, what do you think, Diego, when we will get the K1 visa? Your question is, will we get the K1 visa? Yes, I believe you're going to be successful. You've been together 4.5 years. You got 4.5 years of evidence. You traveled to 10 countries together. Yeah, you're going to have your visa interview in Mumbai. It's the U.S. consulate. In India, the U.S. embassy is in New Delhi. But you don't go to New Delhi. You go to the consulate office in Mumbai for your K1 visa interview. Kamal, does green card mean permanent resident? Yes. This is the process. You're going to get a 2-year green card. You become a legal permanent resident on a probationary period. You're on probation for 2 years. Immigration want to see how the relationship pans out. Do you guys stay together after 2 years? Or does the beneficiary like America, doesn't like America, and they want to go back to their home country? That happens sometimes, you know. So you get 2 years on a probationary green card. 3 months before the probationary green card expires, you apply for the 10-year green card and you lift the conditions off the 2-year. You do not renew a 2-year green card. There's no such thing as a renewal for a 2-year green card. There is no such thing. Once your 2-year green card expires, it's gone, it's done, it's over. It gets destroyed by USCIS. It doesn't get renewed. You apply for a 10-year green card. If you decide not to become a U.S. citizen, then you must renew your 10-year green card after 10 years. Cheyenne, I will go to Mumbai. That's correct. New Delhi doesn't do K1 visa interviews. The embassy, the U.S. embassy in New Delhi processes assistance for U.S. citizens. The consular office in Mumbai processes K1 visas for folks moving to the United States from India. Kamal, she is flying by herself. Is that a problem entering port in Minneapolis? So entering in Minneapolis, St. Paul, in Minnesota, flying next week. Inshallah, no, perfectly fine. Minnesota is a great place. It's the state with 1,000 lakes, I think it is. Mountain Dew salute, Kamal. Francois, have you ever been to the UAE or Morocco? No. I've never been to the United Arab Emirates. I've never been to Morocco. It's on my plan. It's on my list of places to go. But I've been to Egypt 4 times. I went to Egypt. And that's a fantastic country. If you ever get a chance to go to Egypt, I strongly recommend it as a vacation location. I went to see the pyramids. I went to Giza. I took a road trip from Alexandria down south along the Nile River to Giza. I went inside the pyramid. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was the Cheops or whatever. But what an experience that was. There's no way that people built, from what I could see, I don't see how people built the pyramids. They didn't have the technology. You need machines to build those pyramids. You got to have technology that is so advanced that it didn't exist back then. But I don't see how they built them. But they did. Somebody built them. I don't know. But I mean, if you can go there, I recommend you go there. I want to go to Morocco. And the UAE, I don't know. It's pretty hot there. I don't think I could handle the heat. Jay Chudhari, what time is taking for a K1 visa for India? 13 to 14 months from NOA1 letter to K1 visa in the passport. It's about 14 months as of July of 2024. So it used to be 24 months and 28 months, but now it's 12 to 14 months. This is pretty quick. Cheyenne, how long will the interview be? Probably 5 to 15 minutes. If I will give 40 pages only photo evidence, will they have time to see it? They're not going to look at it. Immigration want to see you bring evidence to the visa interview. Does it mean they're going to look at it? No. But they want to see you bring it. They want to see it in your hands. They want to know that you have it. Whether they look at it or not depends on the consular officer. Do they have time to look at 40 pages of photos? Probably not. Are you going to bring 40 pages to the visa interview? Yes, you are. Will they have time to see it? Probably not. Will they be irritated to see lots of photos? No, they will be happy to see lots of photos. Don't you think it's overwhelming? Yes, it is. That's what you're going to do. You're going to overwhelm the immigration officer, the consular officer, with all this evidence. Karina had 4 albums of stuff. I don't know if you can see my camera. I'll get the camera here. She had 1, 2, 3, 4. She had 1, 2, 3, 4 albums of stuff. Did they look at it? No. Could they? They could. But they asked her 12 questions. When Karina went to her K1 visa interview at the embassy in Bogota, they asked her 12 questions. Remember, Karina's from Venezuela, and she lived in Colombia for 6 years. She got protective asylum in Colombia from the president of Colombia, and she lived in Colombia for 6 years, and she was the manager of ice cream stores. She's making pretty good money, doing good. She was doing great. Okay, and I dated her in Colombia. I didn't meet her in Venezuela. I met her in Colombia. Okay, and we dated for 3 years, and then we got married. So the question is from Cheyenne, how long will the visa interview be? It could be 5 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. It depends on the consular officer, and it depends on how much evidence you submitted in the K1 visa application. When I submitted Karina's K1 visa application, I had submitted over a year's worth of evidence. Dinner dates, rent receipts. My name was on the rent receipts in Colombia. I rented an apartment with Karina in Bogota. I had a Colombian visa to live in Colombia for a year. My name was on the rent receipts for a year's worth of rent. Okay, plus. That's how you overwhelm immigration. Yvonne Templar, I only got a visa appointment in January, but my petition expires the 1st of September. I'm worried, what should me and my fiance do? You got your visa appointment in January. Your petition expires the 1st of September. How did you get a visa appointment? The NOA2 letter is what you're talking about, right? You're looking at your NOA2 letter, and on your NOA2 letter, which is your approved K1 visa, there's a 4-month window of time from this month to this month, right? If you have a visa appointment scheduled, then your NOA2 letter is automatically extended to the date of your visa appointment. So let's take Karina, for example, my wife. Karina, she's from Venezuela. On her NOA2 letter, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Yvonne. On Karina's NOA2 letter, her NOA2 letter expired September 16, 2023. Her K1 visa interview was in Bogota, Colombia on November 16, 2023. So Karina's NOA2 letter had been expired for 2 months. But was it expired? No, it wasn't. When you schedule the visa interview, the NOA2 letter gets extended automatically to the day of the visa interview. Okay? So if your visa interview, do you understand what I'm saying, right? Karina's NOA2 letter expired September 16, 2023. I couldn't schedule a visa interview until October. So I couldn't schedule the visa interview until a month past her NOA2 letter expiring. But I maintain contact with the MVC. I maintain contact with the embassy in Bogota. Maintaining contact with immigration keeps your NOA2 letter alive. It doesn't expire. When you schedule it, so when I scheduled Karina's K1 visa interview in Bogota for November 16th of 2023, her NOA2 letter was automatically extended to November 16th, 2023. Yvonne, do you understand what I'm explaining to you? If you have an appointment scheduled, your NOA2 letter is good. Just disregard the dates on it. Rooster, my fiance, is finishing up her college. We are in ready status. She has one shot left to get. You talking vaccination, right? After her degree, we will get the embassy interview scheduled. Okay, Rooster. So once she gets her degree, then you're going to schedule the visa interview. But you're in ready status. How much time left does she have left in school? If you're in ready status, and then the embassy starts sending you directions to schedule the visa interview, you got to schedule the visa interview. You can't say, well, I'm on hold right now. You go to the visa interview. Whenever you get the visa interview scheduled, go to the visa interview, get the visa, and then the visa is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. Okay? So when Karina got her K1 visa in her passport, we picked it up at the CAC Center in Bogota, Colombia. The issue date from her medical exam was November 8th, I believe. The 6-month window of time started. The clock started ticking on her K1 visa on November 8th. So her K1 visa would have expired December, January, February, March, May 8th of 2024. So don't avoid a K1 visa interview. Go to the interview. Get the K1 visa. Get that in the passport so you can start planning stuff. And then she can finish up her school while she's in the timeline on the K1. Yvonne, okay, great. And Rooster says 1 month. No, you said, Rooster says, I thought the visa was good for 1 year, but the medical is good for 6 months. No, a K1 visa is good for 6 months, and the K1 visa start date starts on the day of the medical exam. You cannot enter the United States of America with an expired medical exam. So let's suppose you look at your K1 visa, and the K1 visa expires in, let's say, today, July 25th. But your medical exam expired June 25th. Your K1 visa is still good for another month, but you cannot enter the United States because your medical exam's expired. So when you get your medical exam in your foreign country, wherever it is, whether you're in Colombia, India, the Philippines, wherever you are, the day you get your medical exam is when the clock starts for a 6-month countdown until your K1 visa expires. Okay? A K2 visa for kids is good for 1 year, not the K1. So if you have a K2 and the child is in, say, high school and wants to finish up high school, he's got 6 months left to go before he graduates from high school. The K2 visa is good for a year from the date of the medical exam. So mom would fly to the United States. Her son or daughter would stay in high school, finish up high school, and then fly to the United States at a later date. And that's a question on the DS-160. When you fill out the DS-160, the application for the K1 visa, you also fill out a DS-160 for the K2. So if you have 3 people coming to America, 1 K1 and 2 K2s, you're going to fill out 3 DS-160s. You're going to pay three visa fees. Okay, $265 as of July of 2024. So thanks for clearing that up for me, Rooster. No problem, Rooster. Let me see here. Maybre Entertainment. Miss Betty. Hi, nice seeing you after a long time. Miss Betty, how is Miss Betty doing? How are you doing, Miss Betty? Come on, tell us how your family is. Rooster, thanks for clearing that up for me. You're welcome. The K1 visa is good for 6 months from the start date of the medical exam. From the start date. You cannot enter the United States with an expired medical exam, even if your K1 visa still is active. Okay, that's the reason for that. You got it? So, okay, I've been talking for an hour, almost 54 minutes, 55 minutes. And if you got a bunch of questions for me, I'll stick around. Otherwise, I'm going to go and I think I'm going to do some painting. I got to do something around the house here. Cheyenne, thanks for all the information, Diego. Cheyenne, we look forward to getting your visa approved. And Miss Betty, Maybrio Entertainment. I have lots of problems with my ex. I just applied for a divorce. Thank God I didn't send his stats to immigration. Okay. If it didn't work out, okay, if it's not working out, do not sign the form 864. Don't do it. Don't file for the green card. Well, he can file for the green card, but you got to include the affidavit of support. If it didn't work out, then don't fill out the affidavit of support. Then you are not responsible for him financially. What do I have to do next? Get divorced. And that's it. If he doesn't want to he is abusing you. Why is he in your house? Call the police and have him removed, have him evicted from your house. Have him evicted. File a police report, get him evicted, and then he will be handed over to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And he will be put on a retainer with ICE, and ICE will put him on a plane and fly him back to wherever it is he came from. I'm serious. Miss Betty, listen to me. Listen to me, Miss Betty. File for divorce. If he's abusing you, file a police report. Have the police come. He's not with you. Well, how is he abusing you? Put a restraining order on him. Contact the police. Put a restraining order on him. Okay? And file a report with immigration. Cheyenne, I hope the interview will be fine. Cheyenne, here we go. We're going to put lots of pixie dust on your interview. Lots of pixie dust. You're going to be fine. You're going to get approved, and everything's going to be perfect. And it will be different interview experience as the cases of same sex. It's irrelevant to the U.S. government. Pixie dust for you. You'll get your visa. Everything's going to be perfectly fine. You got so much evidence. You got 4.5 years together. You traveled to 10 countries together. You got pictures from all these different places. You got 4.5 years of evidence. And now you're coming down to the visa interview, and you're going to get it done, and everything's fantastic. And with that, I'll give Miss Betty the last word. How can I make him go back where he came from? You cannot do that. Only immigration can do that. You need to file for divorce and get a divorce from him and let immigration handle the rest. Okay? Listen to me. Don't you stick your nose in there. You contact immigration, you contact the sheriff, put a restraining order on him, and then let immigration handle it. But do not file the paperwork. Okay? We'll see you at the next live stream. I think it's tomorrow, right? I think it is. What day is it today? Thursday? No, Saturday. I'll see you guys on Saturday.